This is Belle. Welcome back to our GH Fast Giant Dipping Powder live stream. So today we're going to show you guys this G644 Fast Giant Dipping Powder kit. So let's check out the colors first. As you can see, we got 6 pieces Fast Giant Dipping Powder and the 4 pieces Accessory dip glues. Let's check out the dip liquid first. So this is the number 1 base. It's super easy to apply. And this is the number 2 activator to use make the gel top get dry and double shine. And this is the top coat. It can dry within 1 minute. And the last one is the number 4 brush saver. And you can use it to clean your dirty brush. And next, let's check out the colors of this G644 kit. So, and this is the number GLT005. But this glitter is from the G6607. And you can also check it out from our Amazon. And this is the kind of diamond hologram. And it is very gorgeous. And we are going to use this glitter to make the ombre glitter nail art design. So now we already opened all the caps of the powder. As you can see, we have already done all the preparation before getting started. So now let's take out the bomb pipette to dry the nail bed and remove the shine of nails so that the powder can well stick on the nail surface. So we are going to apply this bond on all fingernails. But if you don't have the bond or primer in your home, you can just check it out from our GHdip powder accessory kit on Amazon. You can find this handy bond on our kit. It is very handy and for one disposable use and without a very strong smell. So first we are going to do these ombre glitter nails. Well, let's take out the number 1 base. For our base, our cap is very easy to open it. And when you brush this number 1 base, you have to brush it evenly, from middle left to right. Then we are going to use fluffy brush to sprinkle this pink color on your nail surface. Just tap, 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 tap it off. And next we are going to pick up another color and sprinkle them on the bottom of the nails to make this ombre blending. And use the fluffy brush to help you brush off the excess powder. Then we apply the base again. Well, when you apply the base, make sure avoid getting the base onto the cuticle area, because the powder will pick up wherever base is applied, and it might easily cause the lifting problem. So you have to pay more attention to it. Well, repeat the steps. Sprinkle the first powder on the bottom, on the top of the nails. Then we start to sprinkle another color at the bottom. And tap it off. Use this fluffy brush to help you brush off the excess powder. You can just do it very naturally to make this natural, perfect ombre blending. Well, before using the glitter, make sure you stir well to avoid powder sticking together. And next, we are going to apply the base again and dip into the glitter powder to make this glitter surface. Just dip at an angle, stay for a while so that the powder and glue can well react with each other. Stay for a while and we just take it out. Tap it off. And use the fluffy brush to help you sweep away the excess powder. Well, as we already applied this glitter on, so we have to apply one layer of the clear powder as a cover to protect the nail art surface. Because after that, we are going to do the e-file process. So now we apply the base again and make sure every time you brush it evenly from middle left to right. And make sure the base is applied on your nail surface. Now we use a nail tip to apply the clear powder on, because we don't want the glitter mixed up the clear powder. So we just use a nail tip. Then use the fluffy brush to help you brush off the excess clear powder. So now we already finished this nail art design. Now let's turn to another hand and repeat this kind of nail art design. So the same as before, let's take out the bond first and brush it on the nail plate. And make sure every time you brush it evenly. Now using this fluffy brush to sprinkle the powder on, just tap, 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 tap it off. And next, we're going to apply another color on. Just do it very naturally and randomly to make this natural ombre blending. And tap it off. Use one layer and to create the second layer. And sprinkle another color on the bottom of the nails. And just tap, 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 tap it off. And use the fluffy brush to sweep away the loose powder. Next, apply the base again and dip into the glitter powder at a 45 degree. And avoid getting the base onto the cuticles. Stick on. Well, as we already applied one layer of glitter, so we have to use the clear powder as a cover to protect the surface so that we can easily do the filing and buffing. Using a nail tip to help you to apply the clear powder on. For our clear powder, this also belongs to the fast drying dipping powder system. It can also dry within 30 seconds. So it is very convenient for beginners to use. Now we already finished this ombre glitter nail art design. And next we're going to do the pink color with the accessories. So repeat the steps before and apply the base. Just make way down the nails and push the liquid closer to the cuticle area, but avoid getting it on it. Then dip into the color powder and brush off the excess powder. And next, we're going to apply the base again to create a second layer. And make sure every time you brush it evenly. For our base, it's super easy to apply for beginners. It won't keep running everywhere and it is well controlled, so you can use it very easily. And make sure every time you brush it evenly so that when you dip the powder on, the nail surface won't get clumpy and it is very smooth. Well, now we are gonna take out the accessories. Well, here by this step, we are going to apply the number 3 top coat rather than the number 1 base. Because for the base, it can dry very quickly. So we don't have enough time to pick up those accessories on. So we have to apply the number 4 top coat. It can dry a little bit slowly, so we have enough time to pick up the accessories on. So remember this kind of point. Now our nail tech is using the tweaker to pick up this different kinds of nail art design, to pick up these different kinds of accessories on. Just choose different kinds of shapes and pick up it and let it well stick on the nail surface. If you don't have this kind of decals, this kind of accessories, you can just choose other kinds of the accessories and to create this gorgeous nail art design. And you can also choose different colors as the base, not just the pink. So as we apply these accessories on, we have to apply the clear powder on it to cover this nail surface. And make sure it won't take off. Then dip into the clear powder. Tap it off and using the fluffy brush to sweep away the clear powder. So now we have already finished this nail art design. Let's turn to another hand and we're gonna do this nail art design, the same nail art design as the last one. But apply this base again and make sure you brush it evenly. Avoid getting the base onto the cuticle because powder will put out wherever base is applied. Then dip into the color powder, stay for a while. And take it out using the fluffy brush to sweep away the loose powder. And next, apply the base again to create the second layer. For our fast drying dipping powder, we just do 2 layers and that's enough. Because for our powder, it's very full pigmented. So actually 2 layers is enough. We don't have to do 3 layers like any other brand's powder in the market. So now we are going to apply the top coat. Well, as I mentioned before, here we have to apply the top coat rather than the number 1 base. Because for the base, it can dry quickly. So we don't have enough time to pick up those accessory ons. And it already gets dry. So here we have to apply the number 4 top coat because it can dry a little bit slowly. So just using the tweaker to pick up the accessories on. It has different kinds of accessories and we just put it on the nail surface and let it well adhere on the nail plate. Just pick out whatever you like to create this kind of unique nail art design. And after doing this, we have to apply 1 layer of clear powder to cover and to protect this nail art design. Otherwise, it will easily take off. So now we are going to apply the number 1 base. Just brush it evenly. If you are the first time to use the thick powder, you can Practice it on the nail tips. And brush off the excess clear powder. And after every time use, you have to make sure the caps tightly close because you don't want other colors messed up the other colors. Next, we're going to do this purplish red colors. I'm sorry, it's kind of pink colors, I think. I'll use the brush to help you brush off the excess. But for this, we just do the solid color. Just create 2 layers. And avoid getting the base onto the cuticle, because powder will pit out wherever base is applied. Using the fluffy brush to help you brush off the excess. As you can see, after 2 layers, the color already gets very full. And the nail surface won't get clumpy because for our fast drying dipping powder is smooth with correct sizes. So next, we're going to use this burgundy color. I'll apply the base, the first layer of base, just a very thin stroke. Make sure you don't apply too much, because if you apply too much base, the powder will easily get accumulated, and then the nail surface will get clumpy or uneven. Now we apply the base again to create the second layer. Well, make sure you brush it evenly. Then dip into the burgundy colors. Stay for a while so that the powder can well absorb with the glue. And then using the fluffy brush to sweep away the loose powder on the nail plate. Now we are going to turn to the top finger. Apply the base again, just a very thin stroke, and apply it very quickly. Make sure the base is applied on your nail plate because powder will pick up. Tap it off and use the fluffy brush to brush away the excess powder. And then we are going to apply the base again. And if you found out the brush gets dirty or hardened during the application, you can just put it into the brush saver to clean it. Then dip into the color powder at a 45-degree. And make sure the powder can pit up on the nail surface. Use the fluffy brush to brush away the excess powder. Well, we already finished the first hand, so now let's turn to the second hand. Just repeat the steps. Well, apply the base again. For our base, it's very easy to apply, just like a regular polish. So it is very convenient for the rookies or beginners if they are the first time to use this fast drying dipping powder kit. And then apply the base again. Avoid getting the base onto the cuticle area. Then dip into the color powder, stay for a while, and take it out, tap it off. Use the fluffy brush to brush away the excess powder. And after every time used, just keep your caps tightly closed. So next we're going to do this burgundy color. Just for this solid color, we just do 2 layers. And apply the base and make sure every time you brush it evenly. Then dip at an angle into the color powder. Stay for a while so that the powder will pick up wherever base is applied. Brush off the excess powder. Then we start to apply the second layer of base. Just make way down the nails and push the liquid closer to the cuticle area, but avoid getting it onto the cuticle areas. Then dip into the color powder. Tap it off and sweep away the loose powder. And next we're going to do this top finger. Just apply the base very evenly and make sure the base is applied on your whole nails. Then dip into the color powder, stay for a while, take it out and tap it off. Use the brush to brush away the excess powder. If you are not doing well in the first layer, you can just create a second layer and make sure you brush the base very evenly so that when we dip into the color powder, the nail surface still got even. So we dip into the color powder again to create the second layer of this color powder. And tap it off. Brush away the excess powder. Well, for these stick colors, the brush gets clean, quick. And then we can just put it back to the base or the top. And make sure every time you have to make sure the caps tightly close. So now we have already finished the 10 fingers. Let's clean the messed up. And next we're going to do the e-filing process. Well, before using this e-file machine, you can adjust the speed on your skin and to see it is suitable for you or not. We just file this nail surface from nail plate and to the cuticle area. Actually, we don't need to do the filing a lot. We just do it very slightly and gently. Because for our fast drying dipping powder, it is smooth with correct sizes. So when we finish the 2 layers, the nail surface has already got even. So we just do it very gently. Well, during this filing process, I also want to remind you guys that our kit G646 is under the lightning deal during our live stream. And it is during the 5 and 15 p.m. to 12 and 15 p.m. So if some of you are watching our live stream, you can just buy this kit by a very favorable price because this G646 is under the lightning deal right now. So everybody, don't miss the chance. Just go the buying links under our live stream and click this kit, G646. You're gonna have it by a very favorable price. Well, if you don't have the e-filing machine at home, you can just use a file to file your nail service. But remember, do not over-filing or buffing because we don't need to do that for our fast drying dipping powder. We just do it very slightly. And next, we're going to use this nail file to shake your nails. You can also find it from our GH Fast Drying Dipping Powder accessory kit. Just shake the desired shake as you want, like the round one or the vertical one, because different kind of people might suit different kinds of shakes. So you can just choose what you like. Just using 2 fingers to protect the cuticle area. And then we just do this kind of step. Well, for our GH accessory kit, you can also find it on our GHdip Amazon. And it includes 1 clear powder and a buffer and the nail file. And the brush, fluffy brush. And some nail tips for beginners to practice if they are the first time to use our GH Fast Drying Dipping Powder. So next, we're going to do the buffing. You can also find this buffer from our GH accessory kit. So actually, it is very useful for the beginners. Just file the nail surface that went clumpy or uneven. For our fast drying dipping powder, it can dry within 30 seconds. And we don't need any activator to make the powder dry because it can dry within 30 seconds by itself. It is totally different from any other brand's powder in the market. And for our fast drying dipping powder, it won't be affected by any room temperature. You can just use it in summer or winter, but it still can dry within 30 seconds. And for our GH top coat, it can dry within 1 minute and double shine. It is faster than any other brands in the market. And if you are doing this whole process very well, and we can make sure your nails can last for 3 weeks, at least 3 weeks. And everybody, you have to prep your nails very well before using our GH Fast Drying Dipping Powder. Actually, the preparation is a very key point. And everybody should keep an eye on it and pay more attention to it. You have to cut off the excess cuticles around your nails because it will keep growing out. So you have to do this kind of step before starting your manicure. Now let's turn to another hand and start to do the buffing. I just use the coarse grit buffer to even out the preferred thickness of the nails. And then we just turn on the another side and use 240 grit buffer to smooth the nail surface. Just buff and smooth any places that went clumpy or uneven. And don't forget the cuticle area. While for our GH Fast Drying Dipping Powder, it is our powder that dries faster rather than the dipping glue. So it can also combine with any dipping glue in the market for our GH Fast Drying Dipping Powder. But it is better to use with our dipping system and our GH Fast Drying Dipping Powder. And it's gonna be perfect when you combine these two together. And for our GH Fast Drying Dipping Powder, we already got 180 colors and 80 kits on our Amazon. And and we are going to launch more and more products like glow in the dark and some chunky collectors in the near future. I think it's going to be at the end of November, and you can check our products, some new products on Amazon. So now we already finished the buffing process, and use the brush to help you to brush away the dust coat particles on your nail surface. So next, after e-filing and buffing, we need to apply the activator. And now we need to use a link-free wipe to wipe off the dust on the nail surface, so that the nail surface won't get any sparks when we apply the top coat on. If you don't have a kind of link-free wipe, you can just use a tissue. So next, we're going to apply this activator. Remember that we only need to apply one time activator in the whole process. Well, for this activator, this function is to make the top coat get giant and double shine. But remember that do not apply too much activator in this step. Otherwise, the powder will get cranking when nails are done. So just keep it in mind. And for the activator, it is very easy to volatilize. So we should always keep it tightly after every time use. And finally, so let's take out the accessories, because in the last step, we are going to pick up the accessories on. So after applying the activator, we are going to apply the top coat. And we have to apply this top coat 2 layers. And first layer, you just to apply it a very thin layer, just a very thin stroke, and apply it very quickly. And when it half dries, well, meaning that the top coat gets matte but still sticky, we can start to apply the second layer. We cannot wait the top coat dry completely. It has to be half dry. So we can start to apply the second layer to create the double shine nails. If you are following these steps, you're gonna create a very shine nails. And for our top coat, it is a unique formula for our company, and it is very easy to apply, just like a regular polish. And after we create the second layer of the top, we are going to pick up the deco on. This is the last step we are going to do. Just pick up the accessories on your nail plate and let it well stick on the nail surface. So repeat the steps. We're going to apply the top coat on. First layer, just apply a very thin stroke. And avoid getting the top onto the cuticle area. And when it gets matte but still sticky, we can start to apply the second layer. And make sure every time you brush it evenly. For the second layer of the top coat, you can apply more than the first layer, because when we want to create the double shine. Avoid getting the top onto the cuticle area, otherwise it might cause the lifting problem, because the cuticles will grow up all the time. And let's turn to another hand, and we are going to apply the activator on. Remember that when you use our fast drying dipping powder, we only need to apply one-time activator during the whole application. For our activator, it is also a unique formula, and without a very strong smell. And now we already apply 5 fingers so that we can start to apply the top coat. For first layer, remember that just a very thin stroke. Do not apply too much. And when you found out it gets matte but still sticky, we can start to apply the second layer. By using this kind of trick, you can create a very shiny nails. And then repeat the steps before. Just apply very evenly and avoid getting the top onto the cuticle area. And it can dry within 1 minute. It is faster than any other brands in the market. It is faster, dry, but double shine. And after we finish the second layer of top coat, we just use a twixter to pick up the accessory on, to create this kind of special and unique nail art design. And use the twixter to press it and make sure it sticks well on your nail plate.